Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra that I have right over here versus the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. This right over here is a dummy model, but it's the exact same dimensions and design of the official S25 Ultra. So in this video we're going to dive in based on all the information we have so far, do a comparison, and see if you should upgrade or not. We're going to do a side-by-side comparison. We'll look at the processor, the cameras, the design, the display, and more. So let's dive in and get started right away. Now, before we dive in, I do want to let you know that the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is now official. Samsung has officially announced that they are going to launch this device on January 22nd at an Unpacked event in California. So that's about 2 weeks from now. And Samsung is doing something amazing for Galaxy fans like you. They are allowing you to reserve to pre-order the S25 Ultra right now. And just for doing that, you are going to be able to enter a $5,000 Samsung giveaway. Let me show you how to get that done, and then we are going to move over to the comparison. All right, so there's going to be an exclusive link down below. When you click that link, you are going to be at this website. This is the S25 reservation page. Reservation is 100% free, and just for reserving, you are going to be entered to win $5,000 in Samsung credits, which is mind-boggling. But then you also get the $50 Samsung credit and up to $1,250 in additional savings if you ever decide to buy. Remember, there's no obligation to buy. Alright, so once you're here, what you can do is you can actually watch the trailer that Samsung has provided for the S25. But then what you do is you put your name, your last name, your email, and then you select this box over here. You check this box to confirm that you want to enter into the $5,000 giveaway, and then you answer these two questions, and that's it. You tap on reserve now and you're good to go. Now you can win $5,000, and also you have secured your savings. Alright, the very first thing I want to talk about is going to be the processor on these products. Now, the S24 Ultra has a very capable processor. It's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor with up to 12 gigabytes of RAM. The S25 Ultra is going to get a significant boost. It is going to get the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor and up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, let me show you guys some benchmarks. I have the S24 Ultra, and I have another smartphone that is running the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. You can see that the single core performance on the S24 is 2169, but the single core performance on the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, which is going to be in the S25 Ultra, is 3088. So that is a 35% jump in single core performance from the S24 to the S25. That is a huge difference. Now, when you look at the multi-core score, the S24 Ultra has a score of 6,694, which is very fast. But again, the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor is at 9,785. That itself is a 37% increase in performance. So we are looking at a significant increase in the single core and the multi-core performance on the new S25 Ultra, thanks to that brand new chip. So anybody that is interested in performance, this is going to be a huge upgrade. Now let's move on and talk about the cameras. Now, according to the latest leaks, it looks like the overall camera array is going to be the same. You can see they're both going to have the same amount of cameras. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras. This one right here is just for focusing on the top. Let's look at all the cameras one by one so you can see exactly what is going on and what to expect. And again, these are based on solid leaks, so it is almost a 99% certainty that it's going to happen. Alright, so here's what's going to happen. This camera on the top on the S24 Ultra is a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Now this one over here on the S25 Ultra is going to be upgraded to a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. So you're going to see a significant boost in the ultra wide images. Now this is the main camera. That's the 200 megapixel camera on the S24 Ultra. We're going to get the same camera right over here. Of course, it's going to have some improvements, but this will also be 200 megapixels. And then we have a 50 megapixel 5x optical camera that is a telephoto camera. You're going to get the same thing right over here. It's going to be a 50 megapixel 5x telephoto camera. And then we have the 10 megapixel 3x telephoto camera. That again is going to be the same. So basically, these three cameras here and these three cameras are going to be the same as far as megapixels are concerned, but this one here, the ultra wide, is going to go to 50 megapixels from the 12 that we have over here. That's the difference in cameras. Of course, with better processor, better optimization, the whole camera system is definitely going to behave better than the S24 Ultra, which already is a great camera. So this is going to be even better. Alright, so next up, let's look at the design of these smartphones. There are some changes. There are subtle changes, but there are some changes, and there are some benefits to the new changes. So if we look at the size comparison, here's the stats. Again, these are based on leaks from reliable sources. Based on these numbers, you can see that the S25 Ultra is slightly thinner and it's slightly less wide. Now side by side you can see we have the same button placement on both. That's the S25, that's the S24. We have the same port placement, same S Pen placement, same speaker placement, and same SIM card tray placement. On this side we have nothing. On the top we've got the microphone. So overall it is all the same design. But if you look at it like this, you'll notice one big change. This is a deviation. They are saying goodbye to the boxy corners over here. You can see it is slightly more rounded on the edges all around. On this one, they are more boxy and sharp. I like this one better, but some people are going to prefer this one. So those are the dimensions and the design. Nothing dramatic except for these corners. Alright, so when it comes to the display, even though the S25 Ultra is going to be slightly smaller and thinner overall, it is still going to have a larger display. It is basically going from 6.79 inches on the S24 to 6.86 inches on the S25. The reason this is possible, even with a smaller phone, is because the bezels around the edges are going to be even thinner on the S25. So that is great news. A slightly larger screen with even a smaller form factor, but that's not everything. The display itself is going to increase in peak brightness. It's going to go all the way up to 3000 nits versus 2600 nits on the S24 Ultra. And on top of that, the S25 Ultra is going to be using the second generation Corning Gorilla Glass Armor, which is going to be tougher. It is going to have even better anti-reflective coating, which is a great thing to have on the S24 Ultra. So a better version is coming to the S25 Ultra. Now I do want to move on and talk about the battery. The battery capacity and the battery charging speed is going to be all the same. 5000 milliamp hours on both. 45 watt charging on both. However, the battery life most likely is going to be better on the S25. The reason is because the chip, even though it is more powerful, is actually more efficient on the S25 Ultra. So the S24 Ultra already has an amazing battery life. S25 Ultra is going to make it even better. If I had to guess, it probably will give you an extra hour or two of battery, which the more, the better. Alright, so we looked at a bunch of things here. We looked at the processor, we looked at the camera, we looked at the design, the size, the display, and the battery. There are some significant improvements on the S25 Ultra, but also if you have an S24 Ultra and don't want to upgrade, it's not like you're stuck with a bad phone. The S24 Ultra is the best smartphone of 2024. The S25 Ultra probably is going to be the best phone of 2025. It's going to be better than the S24 Ultra, but that happens every single time we go from the older model to the newer model. Regardless though, click the link down below and reserve the S25 Ultra because reservations are free and you're entering to win $5,000. But regardless, if you decide to buy the S25 Ultra with the reservation, you are going to get the best possible discounts, including the $50 free Samsung credit. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.